Hello Libra, welcome to Cat Tarot. My name is Cat, and I don't know if Safi the cat is going to show up at some point. Hopefully she does, to bring us some little extra furry kind of like luck. So what I'm going to do, as per title, you have seen they're like 2-in-1 readings, so twofer. So the first part is going to be January forecast, and we are going to kind of like really figure out what is going to set the stage for this 2021. And second part is going to be really quick overview to 2021. So make sure, guys, that you also check your sun sign, your moon sign, and your ascendant, because all of that are part in the general reading, that you get a little bit more information and more messages. Of course, you can get a personal reading, and then this is different. I'm kind of like taking all of that in account. So Libra, let's check you out. You are starting with being intrigued by a kitten. Look at it. I don't know if you can see it. His tail is on fire, but he's still exploring. There is adventure in the air. But almost like, you know, you might get burned by not kind of like taking kind of like all of the circumstances in account. So it's really important to kind of like tread slowly and don't kind of like rush into things. Like if we are air sign, we really, I mean, Libra is my ascendant, so I say we. Libra is the air sign, so hence we always kind of like need to be careful around fire. Fire is the element that is really beneficial for us, but it can get out of hand, right, really quickly. And then you have, interestingly, you have a fire kitten and you have a sea tom. So it might be some kind of flirtation, and maybe some of this flirtation will be more like kind of sexual base, while the other one is going to be more romantic. I strongly feel these are two different people and two different qualities over here, right? With one of them is more immature energy, but the other one is more mature. Neither of them is really shoe that fits. You're a little bit different, air sign. I mean, I'm Aquarius with Libra rising, and why I say different is like the air signs tend to be not emotionless, but we process emotions through our head. They have to make sense, right? And while, let's say, water signs, they don't question their emotions. It's kind of different. So what is really happening over here is that I don't really see this process coming through like the way it should be. You're different in a way that even though you're an air sign, you are more in touch. That's why you're the scale. You're more in touch with your feelings. You're kind of like comprehending that, understanding. You have the base of it, how this would really work. So here, this energy coming through are kind of like different kind of like sorts of energies, but you're feeling really comfortable with them. You're really almost enjoying it, and there's going to be that sense of playfulness and moving forward. Oof. You're getting one of the karma cards, and it's also called the world. This is like something that is like immediate motion of some sort over here. This is connecting to fixed signs, so hence it's connecting with Taurus, with Aquarius, with Scorpio, and with Leo. So we have a little bit of all these signs astrologically kind of configured, right? So Mars is going to go into Taurus on the 6th. And this is really talking about you need to kind of self-care. You need to kind of put yourself on the pedestal, kind of like work on it. Then we have Mercury going in Aquarius on the 8th, and then Aquarius season start on the 19th. That's your sister sign. It works. But Mercury also retrogrades on the 30th, and kind of like this world, like by that point on the 30th, you have to be ready. You have to be ready with whatever you're doing, flirting and going in direction. The world is generally a fulfillment card. It's kind of like, hey, you know, the journey has kind of like last, but there is like something that is really happening over here, right? So also, what is really important, on January 28th, we have a full moon in Leo, and that's kind of like a romance time as well. And that could kind of be connecting here with this fire energy as well. So it's kind of like really interesting that all of these energies are now basically merged here together, and you're almost like going to have a good reign on all these energies. So there is another karma card here, Good Kitty. You are going through something, or you have been going through something, learning of some sort. It's a universal justice, if you wish, because you are justice card, but this is universal justice. This is not necessarily how people write their laws, because even those laws differ from country to country, and from region to region, and from religion to region, religion to religion. But this is more or less talking about something that is universal. Good Kitty is a release, and it means that you're coming on top. And it's almost like taking everything in account. You're good and bad, because nobody's just freaking Mr. or Mrs. Perfect. And then you're coming on top. So carrying this forward, maybe you had some kind of good fortune, and now you're really enjoying the benefits of this good fortune, and things are really coming toward your way. But beware, certain things might not necessarily go as planned. Now this is really interesting, because these two cards are very similar, and in kind of like in their meaning, in their interpretation, right? This is kind of like intrigue. It's kind of like a process of moving forward, and this is also a process of moving forward, all while you're still kind of like tying the knots from the past. So it's kind of, for example, you're finishing high school and you just need to get this diploma, and then you can move forward. So there is like that motion, right? There is continuum that is really, really happening. But look what is happening here. It's not so much planning and solo. It's kind of like literally poo-poo hit the fan, and you really need to kind of like go and shelter. This is talking to me about some secrets, maybe something that is like underhanded, maybe something that somebody did behind your back, something that is taking you by surprise, maybe certain burdens that you carry that you shouldn't be carried. Certain things are coming to the fore, and it's going to be very, very fiery, right? So you have a fire here, you have a fire here, you have a fire here, and you have a water. So fire and water, it can be steam, it can be volcano, right? So something is going to be happening over here that needs to kind of like, you need to be ready to kind of like man it when it happens. So in front of you here is almost looks like your head is somewhere else. Your head is not in this space, and these are big things that are almost like enveloping you here. But Eight of Fire is like kind of like zoomies, kind of like you are probably freaking tired of this pandemic. You just need to do stuff, whatever that is. You just like need to get into action. This also can talk about expression of love. It could be that you have somebody younger than you, and that there is like possibly a googly kind of a situation. It could be kind of like confirmation of things that are happening in a good direction, which is always good to know, right? And this is also karma cards. So you have a 3 out of 5, and look at how many more cards I have in the deck. And Ace of Skies is basically a card that is declaring victory. You kind of like feel you're at home, and it's also in your own element. It's in air. So Ace of Swords here. So you're kind of like, you need to kind of chop the past, and this looks like there are certain things in the past that you just want to put behind you, where you also want to move forward. So you'll be cutting things and people around you. You kind of like are moving, you're ready for new adventures. And maybe, you know, like, I mean, there are things in the past that you just don't want to deal with anymore, and it is time to move forward. So this card is always foretelling victory, and that's really important. So this is the environment. Your environment could be very turbulent, or somebody in your environment can cause turbulence, or that's a turbulent person here that you have. This card represents Mars, the Tower, and Mars is entering Taurus, and Taurus is our sense of finance. So make sure that you are kind of like having the budget ready properly. This could be simply somebody walking in and demanding some kind of like payment, right? And being really angry about it. And it's kind of like the injury of some sort the Tower can indicate. Also, sometimes can talk about the reckless relationship, because it's very, very phallic if you kind of like see. And so if you involve yourself into something with somebody, and it could be this fire thing that kind of like started innocently and then exploded in your face, and then now like it's wrecking your world. So be very careful of that, because when you have karma cards, it's telling you that you can now stop the patterns. And this, with 3 of them, like, I mean, any pattern that has been almost like ingrained in your life needs to be sort of like jumped on and dealt with, right? So this is really important that you know that I think you're the only sign that got the Tower card, which means it's going to be some disturbance here, guys. And it's not going to be you who is going to create this, but it's going to kind of like be in your environment, which technically is pretty much the same, right? But the difference is that it's a little bit better for you because you'll be able to observe it. So maybe you're going to have presence of mind to handle it. So let's see what is in this category, hopes and fears. Nope, you're going to be freaking exhausted because of all of that. You're having 4 of Sky, so 4 of Swords. You kind of like are tired of everything. You're a little bit exhausted. Maybe you're going to spend lots of time sleeping, which is weird. So I guess it almost tells me that maybe you'll be up at night quite a bit and you'll be sleeping during the day. I know it's kind of like usually not gelling well with kind of like a work day, but this really tells me that also you kind of like really counting some blessings, counting being kind of like quote unquote saved in a situation. This can be linking back to the situation, but I don't have clear indication to where this really goes. But it just tells me that you're just simply exhausted and tired, and you just like really want to kind of shut everybody out. Maybe like Tower, when the Tower shows up, it's not freaking, you know, like I'm in a romance movie. It's kind of buckle up, all these dragons are coming at you, it's freaking devastation. It's like tearing you down to the basics because something needs to be rebuilt and needs to be rebuilt properly. So this generally also talks, especially in the combination of these cards that you have, and these are major, and this is basically a karma card, right? It's talking about that you need to be on your best behavior, as well as that if you try to lie, you are like taking the balance from this card, and hence it can explode in your face. So don't try it for any reason, not even because it can kind of like look things better, to try to go in that direction, because it's not going to do well. And that's why the Tower is showing up. So don't be lured, and luckily we don't have the Devil card to kind of like go in this direction. And then you have the Sky Queen, and it's ultimately telling you you're on top of the things, you're the survivor, things are really working well. She is looking from the above, kind of like having her best position, comfort position, and she totally is in control. She knows what's going. So no matter what kind of like bumpy road you get here, pretty sure it's going to end well. Only thing that I really don't like is that you are still the queen, most likely, and you have like these tomes and kittens. So where is the king? Where is this person who has the staying power? So it looks like you're dating, or looks like if you are with somebody that still doesn't have the quality that you would really like to have. And again, even though you understand emotions, you still have this computing system of analysis, and you're kind of like really looking in the quality of that relationship, right? So you more or less, you have things in balance, you have elements in balance, you're able to kind of like rein them, you're able to handle them, and ultimately it's telling you that you are the ultimate survivor who will, no matter what, be on top of the things and look things from the above. So you are ending up on top. So let's check your 2021 quick review and what we see over there, my dear Libra. So Libra for 2021. Libra, I'm looking at these cards only in the upright situation. So Libra, and Libra. So you're getting the dream. This is it. This is so freaking you. This is like kind of like romancing the romance. You're like more in love with the dream than you're like about the real things. And then you have success. But look at the sixes. There's like this craving for a soulmate. You really kind of like want to be in a relationship, and there it is. You got it. There is like the merge. There's somebody appearing with really lovey-dovey and who is going to be so much fun to be around. I don't really know even what to tell you, except this is spectacular. That person might be Sagittarius. This person could be a fire sign that you're dealing with, but we did see this like fire or water sign already, and that's a flavor for January. And it could be that you're already meeting somebody in January and that things are really progressing in this kind of like direction. It's interestingly enough because this playfulness is basically that little kind of like kitty that had a tail kind of like burned, but it's kind of coming back later. And maybe you're meeting somebody who is much younger than you, who kind of like really enjoys your company, who wants to be in your company, who is also very enamored with you and your gentleness and how you perceive the things. This is, after all, the Six of Cups card, and this card always kind of like pushes us into kind of like better understanding of kind of like who we are. Look at that. It's kind of like, why is this not happening to me? But sometimes dreams do come true, right? You need to allow yourself to be in this space. You need to allow yourself to experience this and to kind of like really know and understand everything that is hiding here behind, right? So this is really important here to know, that when you kind of like get in the situation, I mean, it's combining with the success card because they are both sixes, right? So this is kind of like talking about, I think you're shedding away your willingness to meet somebody perfect and to meet somebody who fits the bill. And you know, nobody, whether this is your current mate or some dream of partner in the future, kind of like has obligation to deliver your happiness, right? And because you're an air sign, you're kind of computing that kind of like reality, because nobody also wants to deliver your happiness. This is not their job, because real love comes from trying to solve our neediness by depending on other, but developing our own kind of like soul. So even though, and I think you have these majors, and I think here you don't have majors, so it's going to be rather easy breezy year. Some people will have no choice. They have to go the path that has been kind of like imagined for them by the destiny, right? So you kind of like have so much to give, and by understanding how much you have to give, you will be attracting people toward you, and you will draw lovers toward you. You'll be claiming this like big success, this like big understanding of things that, you know, you're going to feel that after you drop, you might initially feel, quote unquote, that you're dropping your standards. So just kind of like you need to get over the, I guess, negative programming, right? Because clearly here is telling me that, you know, something is going to really work so fantastically well for you that you're not going to have to kind of like really really wonder. Maybe you had the situations where you were dealing with people who haven't been let's say very forthcoming, very honest. Maybe they had their own agenda. In their own agenda, they were fulfilling their own wishes. They wanted you to deliver the happiness to them. And your form of happiness was giving them being that perfect woman or this perfect man for them, because you kind of like usually guys have that ability to morph yourself into something like that. But this is, he's walking on top of the world in this case. So there is no point anymore to kind of like live through that, let's say, appearances, living life for somebody else. This is now a time for you to kind of like fulfill your needs. And hence, both of you are dropping those preconceived notions, and both of you are being real. There's a fire and there's a water, just like what we saw in a flavor of January, and there's going to be a steam. So will you be able to conquer this steam, and how long? It's kind of clear in this year. It's going to happen. You need to really work on balance. Your whole basically sign is balance. You're always out of balance, and you're always trying to be in balance. And look at that. This is coming here. This is the Two of Cups. And basically it's telling you that maybe you have one aspiration, maybe other person feels powerful through you, maybe you kind of like want the romance, and again there's this expectation of how this is on the menu, I want this. So you drop this expectation and you're simply kind of like focusing, hey, while I'm embraced, while you are holding me, I am really feeling loved, I'm really feeling cherished. And you know, neither of us is more important. I'm truly, truly enjoying. And that is going to be like this big foundation of this playfulness and joy and sparks. So it's kind of like, almost like feels like that is going to start in a way that is not going to look like being serious and not going to look like going in the direction. You're going to even maybe feel, oh, there is somebody who, not going to work, but let me have fun as it's here. But something is going to really come through for you, and it's going to come with flying colors, right? Only after you give up on some dream. Because I think this is how universe works. You want to win lottery. So you say, universe, I want to win lottery. Basically what you want is you want to win money, and that money is going to provide something for you. You actually maybe want a big house. So instead of asking like, universe, please give me something bigger, I need this, you are talking about what you think is the mean of getting it, right? So it's only when you drop it that you can get that, right? So you know this bad joke, and I think Scottish people will scrutinize me for this, like two Scots are kind of like trying to get to America, and you know, and the son is asking, dad, when will we get there, right? And dad says, you know, just shut up and keep swimming. So there is a second part of that where the kid is actually buying a lottery card, and kind of like he's winning something, because always there's a yang to a yin and yin to a yang. But the story kind of like is basically what's going to happen when you give up, when you kind of realize you have to go through some process, and this process is going to be just basically making you feel lighter about yourself. That's when things will happen for you. So it's really, really important to do. So let me see over here, additional information. The dream and the bear. You are looking at somebody who can provide you with things. You are hoping there's like somebody who has some kind of financial backing, that is like not you who is basically needing to provide things, but kind of like there is somebody else who's coming with maybe a plan, and maybe with a house or maybe with something. So you're looking for somebody who is quote unquote good on the paper. But the success comes, just as I said, through cutting through these motions, how things and what should happen. This is like the sickle. You really need to cut somebody winning. Like you really need to relax and let go. Very, very important. So you have the fox here. So even though I think you're getting together with this person and this is fun, you are still alert. You feel that could be some kind of like encroachment on your partner. You might feel a little jealous over here, or really it's going to be possibly a partner who now, seeing two of you getting together, is going to have their own agenda. This could be also somebody from work, or it could be that you will have the struggle with this partner because maybe you don't like what they do, or maybe you simply like they're unavailable, their hours are frisky, maybe their hours are not coinciding with your hours, and things are happening. But again, it needs to be light. You have the playfulness, and this is the wisdom of the day. The owls, you're talking about the communication is the key. Kind of like take it light. Things can be resolved. It's easy breezy. Everything is going to happen this year, but just don't take it seriously. And let me get your oracle card here, guys, so you can get one more message over here, and you're getting storm fields. Let's see what's hiding behind that. And it says, this too shall pass. Why is that? Oh, this way. It says, an uncomfortable chaos is surrounding you. Things that you have left unattended may be the cause of some conflict. Pent-up energy needs release, just as a storm in nature must break, for these events occur when the electricity between opposing forces stirs things up and creates temporary disorder. Not all storms are destructive. Rather, they serve nature by bringing rain to the ground and wind to the trees, enabling seeds to be widely distributed and continuous growth to be ensured. Just remember that whenever is being stirred up inside you, or between you and another, will benefit you later. The sun will shine again, and new growth will be observed. Don't be afraid to shake things up a little. And that's kind of like what we did see in the flavor of January, did see now in the flavor of the year. Again, you cannot take anything serious, because even the negative forces will be able to kind of like make you land on your feet and kind of like look in this direction. So I would just say, don't fret, my dear Libra. Things will work out. Just be the best you can be, like be the airy thing. Just check my video, The Great Conjunction. It's also talking about these quantitative changes that just happened on December 21st. They're really kind of like pertaining to you being an air sign, and it's going to tell you that shift is happening. So you don't have to have the same fears, even though it takes time for all our cells to change and to go in a new direction. But I really think this is really telling me, look at this, that the path is here. The path is meandering, right? A storm is coming, but there is like still the place where you can go and where you can hide. So it's really important to look for the signs, and I guess just don't be hyper alert, just be alert, and so you'll be able to troubleshoot them. You'll be able to realize who is the freaking fox, who you need to cut out, and you will have the finesse and ability to approach them in a very wise way, and you will kind of like be measured and have exact quantity of things that you need to say and do. So dear Libra, don't forget also that we are entering Mercury retrograde at the end of the month, and it is in a friendly sign of Aquarius, so it might be not as bad this time around, but miscommunication can happen, and be careful, because looks like you're going to be dating a lot. That sexting is not being sent to the wrong person, because it's going to be lots of explanation and storm fields that can happen as a result. So this is it, guys. I wish you happy new year. As I said, I don't know if I said it, like, I mean, I'm going to be issuing through my mail list the 2021 numerology forecast. So if you want to get it, you need to be on my mailing list. It is like, the link is first one in the description. Just click on it. And what else? Yes, if you want a reading from me, contact me via cattarot.ca. For the personal annual readings, which I'm offering this year, it's only offered to my clients for now, because I just need to clear this out. They're really extensive. The first part has the quarterly kind of like review. Then I have the astrological houses and tell you how every aspect of your life is going to work. And then we are gluing this all together in Lenormand. It's going to give us a little bit lay of the land. And also you have the oracle card to kind of like give you some kind of like direction to at least start from somewhere, right? From all of these messages. They're really draining from me. I have to channel quite a bit. They're over an hour and a half. And they are discounted from $230 to $195, just as a favor to everybody who've been through the pandemic. And if you're a new client, if you want this reading, just please wait a little bit longer, but in the meantime you can get just the other ones. So guys, this is it. Make sure you check your sun, your moon, and your ascendant sign. And also this video about the Great Conjunction is very pertinent for you, so check it out. And if you guys are not subscribed, or if you're still here and listening, then please click on that subscribe, and please click on this ring bell, so it can kind of advise you when I have live, which is generally every Saturday at 11 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. Join us for a Saturday with coffee, no matter where you are in the world. Love you to have it. It's a really nice crowd, positive, friendly people, and we would love to see you there. Love you guys, all the best, and Happy New Year, and Namaste.